Hey Hardy, Miss Grillo here. Welcome back to another video of Math with Miss Grillo. I am so excited you all have joined me today. In our last video, we went over multi-step word problems. And today, we are getting into something even more exciting. Dun-dun-dun-dun, fractions. More specifically, how we can find and make equivalent fractions. So I'm very excited y'all have joined me today. Fractions are a really hard thing to grasp, a really hard concept to understand. Miss Grillo had trouble with fractions for a long time. I mean, you can even ask my mom. She would definitely tell you how long I struggled with fractions. But after practicing, teaching, and really digging deep into it, I was finally able to learn, and goodness has it helped me. So I'm so excited you all have joined me today, and we are going to figure out what we can do to make equivalent fractions. So right now I want you to turn to page 24 in your packet, just like in the other video. It may not be the 24th page in your packet, but it will say I ready math, and it'll say page 24 down at the bottom, okay? And so it should look something like this. It'll have fractions with blank squares, and problem number 1 should be 2/4 times blank over blank equals 8/16. So if you are not there yet, please pause the video, go ahead and grab the packet and get to the page that we're going to be working on. And when you're ready, you can unpause this video and can begin with us. So once you get there, you should be on question number 1. And it says 2/4 times blank over blank equals 8/16. So take a minute of private think time. What do you already know about equivalent fractions? Okay? What do we already know? Take a minute. If you still want to think for just a couple of minutes, pause the video. Take a moment. Think about it. Write it down. If not, we can move on. So I hope some of the things you might have been thinking about was that equivalent fractions are fractions that are equal to one another, okay? So 2/4 equals 8/16. But we just have to figure out what we multiply by to get this equivalent fraction, okay? So I'm super excited to be working on this with y'all. It should run through pretty quickly. We're going to be doing problems 1, 4, and 7. So on your worksheet, it's going to be the 3 problems down the left side. So 1, 4, 7. All right, so if you look at question number 1, we have 2/4 times an unknown fraction equals 8/16. Well, we know that 2/4 and 8/16 are equivalent fractions, okay? So we just need to figure out what fraction we're multiplying by in order to get this other fraction. So that can be a little bit confusing at times, but we need to think about multiplying 2/4 by 1/2, okay? So what type of fraction makes 1/2? Think about it for a second. Even throw out some examples, write them down. What type of fraction makes 1/2? Pause the video if you must, but we will move on. So any fraction that has the same numerator and denominator equals 1/2. So some examples are 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 5/5, 6/6, 7/7, 8/8, 9/9, 10/10, so on and so forth. So same thing with this. When we are trying to find an equivalent fraction, we need to multiply this by a whole number, meaning whatever we do to the bottom, we need to do to the top. Well, in this first problem, problem, we are given our end result. So the question you have to ask yourselves, or the question we have to ask ourselves, is 2 times what number will give us 8? 4 times what number gives us 16? Or 16 divided by 4 gives us what number? 8 divided by 2 gives us what number? So, get your pencils out. You may already know this, so if you do, you can go ahead and fill it out. If not, we're going to go over it together. So the easiest thing for me to do is we need to start with our denominator, because whatever we do to the bottom, we need to do to the top. Okay? And I'm just going to count by 4s until I get to 16. So count with me. 4, 8, 12, 16. So 4 times what gives us 16? 4. Very nice. Now before I write that in there, I want to check to make sure our number is correct. So I'm going to ask myself, does 2 times 4 give us 8? Well, we can count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, does 4 work? Yeah, it does. So we have 4 times 4. That gives us 16. And then we have 2 times 4, which gives us 8. All right, good job. Make sure you fill that out. And we are going to go ahead and move down to question number 4. So we're not moving over, we're moving down on our worksheet, okay? All right, and question number 4 should look something like this. 2/3 times blank over 3 equals 6 over blank. All right, well, we are going to take the knowledge from this first problem and apply it down here. So, what we just talked about up here is whatever we do to get, oops, sorry, I smeared that. Whatever we are trying to get to an equivalent fraction, we need to multiply by 1 whole, which means whatever is on the bottom is the same thing on the top. So, if we look at question number 2, we already have a number on the bottom of that fraction we're multiplying by. What number is it? 3. Very nice. So, if we have a 3 on the bottom, we need a 3 on the top. Very nice. Before I put it in there, though, I just want to check to make sure. Does 2 times 3 give us 6? Well, let's count by 2s. Count with me. 2, 4, 6. So does that work? Yeah, it does. Very nice. So 2 times 3 gives us 6. All right, we have one more spot to fill in. This one's, we just have to do some simple multiplication. 3 times 3 gives us, I think I heard it, but let's count by 3s. 3, 6, 9. Very nice. So that means 2/3 is equivalent or equal to 6/9. All right, we are rocking and rolling. We are moving on to our final problem, all right? If you already know it, feel free to go through, finish it up, and then come back and check your answers with our video. If not, continue to walk through it with us. And like in all videos, if you have any comments, questions, concerns about this, please post something in the comments or reach out to one of your 4th grade teachers so that we can help you understand the material to the best of your ability. All right, so we did 1, we did 4, and now we're moving down to 7. Ooh, this one's a little bit trickier. We have 5 over blank times blank over blank equals 15 over 24. So, unlike the other 2 problems, here we are missing 3 numbers. So, what's super important for you to do is to find whether the numerator or the denominator, which one has more numbers you can work with, okay? So, we have the numerator, there's a 5 and there's a 15. In the denominator, we just have 24. So, in this case, I'm going to start off with my numerator. And I need to ask myself the question, 5 times what is going to give me 15? Okay? So let's count. Let's count by 5s. Count with me. 5, 10, 15. Ooh, 5 times what gives us 15? 3, very nice. So I'm going to put my 3 right here. And 5 times 3 gives us 15. So, does knowing that this number is a 3, does that help us at all? Take a second, think about it. Does it help us at all? It does, right? Because we know whenever we are trying to find equivalent fractions and we're multiplying by a fraction, we are trying to multiply by 1. All right, so 2 halves make 1, 4 fourths make 1, 5 fifths make 1, 3 thirds make 1. So this right here is going to be a 3. Very good. All right, so we have one more spot to fill. So now, how are we going to figure this out? Well, we're trying to think, what times 3 gives us 24? Well, unfortunately, we don't have a number to count by. I can't go 5, 10, 15. Can't do that to get to 24. So instead of multiplying or counting this time, we are going to have to divide or figure out 3 times what gives us 24. So we can always go ahead and count by 3s. So let's do that. Count with me. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Ooh. So, what times 3 gives us 24? 8. Very nice. So 8 is going to go right here. All right, now let's just read through our fractions, make sure they're true. 5 times 3 gives us 15. 8 times 3 gives us 24. Are we multiplying by one whole here? Yep, because any number over itself equals one whole. All right, so we know now 5/8 is an equivalent fraction to 15 24ths. All right, so we went through and did 3 problems from that worksheet together. You all can go ahead and do the rest. As I said, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below this video or reach out to any one of your teachers. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and I hope you have an excellent spring break. Spend some time relaxing, reading, playing outside, enjoying this time to just refresh your mind and be ready for virtual learning when we come back. Thank you all so much. I'm going to miss you over spring break, but I know it's a break we all need. So, I love you guys. Thanks for joining Math with Miss Grillo, and I will see you again soon.